RayJ has now reached a point that many people hoped he would never reach. And the details of what happened inside his home on Thanksgiving morning have shocked almost everyone who has followed his public life over the years. The situation between him and Princess Love was already strained for a long time. But what was recorded on video, what was heard in the background, and what witnesses claim took place has pushed this story into a dark and serious place. There is no way around it. This was not a normal argument. This was not simple tension, and this was not something that could be brushed off as a misunderstanding. This incident shows a man who seems to be losing control of himself, and a family living through moments that no child should ever witness. When the morning should have been peaceful, when children should have been waking up to a warm holiday, instead there were raised voices, accusations, fear, and the disturbing sound of kids crying while chaos took over the home. There is nothing entertaining about that. This is the kind of moment that stays with a family forever. And now, with RayJ sitting behind bars, the whole world is looking at this situation and asking how everything went so wrong. The details that came out begin with RayJ going live from inside his home. Right away, his energy was off. He was loud, emotional, and unstable. He made it clear that he was having what he called the worst Thanksgiving ever. And he claimed someone was trying to take his kids away from him. But the more he talked, the more clear it became that something else was going on. His voice was shaking. He was pacing around, and he sounded defensive, angry, and almost paranoid. The trouble escalated fast. In the video, you can hear him grab something off a table. You can hear the sound of him loading it, and people watching could tell exactly what it was, even before Princess said it out loud. It was a gun. RayJ was holding a gun inside a home where his children were present and where emotions were already out of control. Princess Love walked into the room at one point, and instead of getting calm, things got worse. She tried to take the children away from the situation, and right away, RayJ accused her of trying to take his kids from him. He said she and someone else were drunk. He repeated over and over that no one was going to take his kids out of that house. But she responded with something even more serious. She told him he had pointed the gun at them. She said it more than once, and RayJ tried to deny it, but his denial did not match the stress in the room, the fear in her voice, or the way the rest of the video unfolded. As the situation became more tense, you hear Princess say that he is a woman abuser. She said it directly to him. She said he needed help. She said he was delusional. And hearing her say those words while the children cried in the background made it clear that this was not some small disagreement. This was not a moment that came out of nowhere. This was the boiling point of something much deeper, something that has likely been building for a long time. Princess was not speaking like a woman shocked by a one-time outburst. She was speaking like someone who has been through things before, someone who has reached her limit. That alone says a lot. At one point, a man enters the room along with another woman, and the tension jumps to another level. The man confronts RayJ, and instead of calming down, RayJ snaps. He yells that he will shoot him. He tells him to get out of the house. He curses, he threatens, he shouts, and the situation nearly becomes physical. The audio alone is chilling, because you can hear how dangerous the moment is. This is not a man raising his voice out of frustration. This is a man threatening someone's life while holding a weapon. Even the man who walked in tries to calm him down, telling him to relax and trying to de-escalate the moment. But RayJ was far gone by that time. The anger, the shouting, the constant pacing, the confusion, the threats, it all made the situation extremely unsafe. During all of this, the most heartbreaking thing is the sound of the children crying. These are young kids. They should not have to listen to adults yell about guns. They should not have to watch their parents fight like this. They should not have to hear their father threaten to harm someone. They should not be exposed to this drama. let alone on a day that is supposed to be filled with peace and family love. This moment will likely stay with them for years. Anyone who has ever lived through something like this knows that the sounds, the fear, and the confusion do not fade easily. As the audio continues, you can hear police sirens in the distance. You can hear the police arriving, entering the home, and beginning their process of clearing the residence. Officers can be heard describing the layout as they move room to room. This confirms that someone inside the house called for help because they feared what might happen if the situation continued. When Princess speaks to the officer, she explains something even more troubling. She says that her son told her the gun was left on the table where he could see it. That alone is dangerous enough. But in a moment where emotions were unstable and RayJ was already acting unpredictable, it becomes even more alarming. When TMZ reported the details, they repeated what law enforcement told them. RayJ was arrested for making criminal threats, and his bail was set at $50,000. He was taken into custody at a Los Angeles area jail. That means the police had enough reason, enough evidence, and enough concern to bring him in. Criminal threats are not taken lightly. It is not something the police brush off. You have to show behavior that is dangerous, threatening, and real enough to pose serious harm to others. And based on what was recorded, based on what witnesses heard, and based on what the officers saw when they arrived, they clearly believed RayJ was a threat in that moment. Looking at this entire situation, many people are asking, what is happening with RayJ's mental state? For years, he has posted strange, chaotic, confusing things online. Sometimes people laughed at it, sometimes people brushed it off as trolling, and sometimes people assumed it was just RayJ being dramatic for attention. But over time, the behavior became harder to ignore. He went from being playful to being short-tempered. He went from laughing online to posting videos where he seems stressed or overwhelmed. And over the past year, many people have noticed that his relationship with his family, especially his sister Brandy, became distant. They were once extremely close, but recently they have kept space from him. They reunited briefly at a concert, but many people believe they have stepped back because they do not know how to deal with his unstable behavior anymore. When you see the way RayJ acted in this video, the way he moved, the way he spoke, and the way he reacted to everything at once, it raises serious questions about whether he is dealing with substance issues or mental health struggles that have not been addressed. But even if he is dealing with something deeper, that does not excuse what happened. Children should not be in that environment. Princess should not have to live in fear, and no one inside that house should have been threatened with a gun. Nothing explains that away. Nothing makes that okay. It is worth pointing out that Princess has spoken about her issues with RayJ in the past. There have been accusations, emotional moments, public arguments, and long periods of separation. But this incident is on another level. This is not a simple breakup. This is not a disagreement over parenting. This is now a matter involving the police, the law, and the safety of children. When law enforcement comes to your home in the middle of the night, when they take you into custody, and when you are booked on criminal threats, it means the issue is not private anymore. It is now public and legal, and there will be consequences. It is also interesting that Princess called him a woman abuser during the incident. She said it clearly and loudly. She said she believes he is abusive. She said he has issues he refuses to face. And when she said that, many people remembered something important. RayJ was publicly defending someone facing serious abuse claims. The fact that he defended that person with such energy and passion made people look at him differently. Many online users said that a man who defends an abuser with such passion is often hiding similar behavior. Now, seeing the way he acted during this incident, those comments are being repeated all over again. As the video continues, you hear RayJ telling the man to leave before he shoots him. You hear him saying he has a gun on him. You hear him telling someone that he will kill them. And even though some parts of the audio are chaotic and hard to follow, the tone is impossible to miss. He was unstable angry and explosive. It is not a misunderstanding. It is not someone mishearing a word. The audio is clear enough to show that RayJ was out of control and capable of doing something serious had the police not arrived when they did. When officers finally took control of the situation, things became quieter. The children were taken out of the stressful space, Princess spoke to the officers, and RayJ was taken into custody. But even as the police handled things, you can hear the exhaustion and frustration in Princess's voice. She sounded tired, emotionally and mentally. She sounded like someone who has been dealing with this for too long. And if this is what happened on camera, one can only imagine what has happened off camera. The next part of the story deals with what happens next. RayJ is currently in custody. His bail is $50,000. If he is released, there will be conditions and rules he must follow. Normally, in cases like this, the court may require him to stay away from Princess until a hearing is held. The presence of children will also play a big role because the court always acts in the best interest of the kids. The fact that a gun was involved will make the situation even more serious. Usually, that leads to restrictions on firearms, mental health evaluations, and possible supervised visits with the children until the court decides what is best. Many people are also wondering how RayJ's career will be affected. This is not a small scandal. This is not something people can overlook or laugh off. This involves domestic violence, threats, children crying, and a whipping. Industry leaders do not like being associated with situations like this. It can impact endorsements, partnerships, tours, and public appearances. And for someone like RayJ, who is already dealing with a shaky public image, this could be the moment that changes everything. This situation also makes people look at his relationship with Princess in a different way. They have had ups and downs for years. They filed for divorce more than once. They tried to work things out. They separated again. But now, this incident may be the final breaking point. Princess has already said she believes he is abusive. She has said she wants to protect her kids. And after what happened on Thanksgiving morning, she might decide to finally walk away for good. Not just for herself, but for her children's safety and emotional health. It is also worth noting that RayJ seemed to be live streaming during the chaos. People could hear everything in real time. He sounded like someone who was disconnected from reality. Many viewers could not understand why he would even go live during such a serious moment. This is not the type of situation you broadcast to the world. But the fact that he did it suggests that he was not thinking clearly at all. It makes people question his mental state even more. When you look at the timeline of events, it is clear that this did not happen all at once. There were signs. There were warning moments. There were strange videos posted online that concerned fans. There were rumors that his family was keeping distance because they did not know how to deal with him anymore. And now, everything has come to a head in a dramatic and dangerous way. Seeing the police enter and secure the home is a moment that shows how serious everything was. Police do not take chances when they hear someone has a gun inside a home with children present. They move quickly. They clear the home, and they make sure no one gets hurt. Their reaction shows that they took the situation as a high-risk call. And the details released later confirm that they believed RayJ posed a threat at that moment. You also have to think about the long-term impact this will have on the children. They heard everything. They heard their parents yelling. They heard the threats. They heard the fear. They heard people saying someone had a gun. That kind of memory does not fade easily. It affects the way children feel safe, the way they trust adults, and the way they process conflict. And that is why many people are now saying that Princess needs to distance herself and protect her children, because staying in that environment is dangerous emotionally and physically. What makes the situation even sadder is that many people once saw RayJ as someone fun, lighthearted, and always joking around. But now it looks like the pressure of life, personal issues, and private problems have taken a toll on him. He looks like a man who needs serious help, but even then, needing help does not justify holding a gun around your kids. It does not justify threatening others. it does not justify creating a dangerous environment for your family. At some point, responsibility has to be taken. When news of his arrest became public, it spread fast. People reacted with shock, disappointment, frustration, and sadness. Some people said they were not surprised because they have seen his behavior online. Others said they hope he gets help, but many people focused on Princess and the children because they were the ones living through the fear in that moment. It is likely that this incident will lead to investigations, court hearings, and more details coming out. Whenever a gun is involved in a domestic incident, the legal system steps in with full force. It is not something they treat lightly. Even if Princess decides later to soften her stance, the law may still continue the case because the safety of children was compromised. That alone is enough for the court to take full control. In the days ahead, the public will learn more. The police report will be reviewed. More evidence may be released. Witness statements may be included, and people will get a clearer picture of everything that happened inside that home. But even now, with the details that have been shared, it is clear that this was not a moment of confusion. It was a serious domestic violence incident with children in the room. At the end of the day, this story is not about gossip. It is not about entertainment. It is about the safety of a family. It is about a man who appears to be in crisis. It is about a woman who has reached her breaking point. And it's about children who deserved a peaceful Thanksgiving, but instead were caught in the middle of fear and chaos. For now, RayJ will have to face the consequences of his actions. He will have to deal with the legal system, the backlash, and the damaged relationships. Princess will likely focus on protecting her children and providing emotional care after this traumatic event. And the public will continue to watch as this situation unfolds. One thing is clear, this entire situation is heartbreaking. It shows how fast things can fall apart when emotions go unchecked, when stress builds up, and when a person refuses to deal with their problems. It also shows how important it is to put children first and protect them from harmful environments. As more details come out, the world will see just how far this situation reached. But for now, what happened in that home is a reminder that behind fame, behind money, behind social media posts, real families are struggling. And sometimes, the people who seem the strongest on the outside are the ones falling apart inside.